Well, welcome to the Urban Ranch, version 2.0, episode 1. Here is the Urban Ranch. This is the home that resides on the corner of 5th and Beck in German Village in Columbus, Ohio. It was originally built in 1913 and was a classic brick double. When Crystal and I purchased the home back in 2010, we lived on the left side of the home, or the south side, adjacent to the yard, and we rented out the right side of the home. Over the next about year or so, we're going to take you through the complete renovation of this home into a single family home. This is not a renovation that will be for the faint of heart, as the construction is really a light commercial level project. You can see that the project begins with interior demolition, and we'll show that in future videos. But from positioned opposite the house here abuts Dixon Alley that is adjacent to Frank Fetch Park. It's a perfect little pocket park in downtown Columbus, Ohio. And this is looking at the back or east facade of the home. And to begin the construction, the intention is to add a addition onto this side of the home. Now again, the portion of the project that becomes a little bit unwielding for a typical residential project is the amount of structural change that we're going to put the home through. This home, being built as a classic brick double, has a center load-bearing wall throughout the middle of the home. Our intention is to remove that entire load-bearing wall without allowing a single post on the first floor to be present or visible at the completed project. While we're going to be completing that on the inside of the home, again, as I said, we're going to bring an addition out towards us, and you can see the basement is being dug for that addition. There will eventually be an exercise room in that space. The construction is being orchestrated by a company, UrbanRanch Living, but our general contractor is B7 Construction that's working with us hand in hand. You can see in the lower left of that picture and in the pit, the white shirt gentleman is Benson. He is the owner of B7, and Chuck Sheets is our project manager who's on site every day. You can see Chuck popping in and out of the door there, keeping an eye on the guys, assuring that we're building the, digging the basement out to proper depth. There's a lot of structural concerns as we're going through this. You can see as they're digging down in the corners there, those will eventually become concrete piers that'll support a steel post and what was termed a moment frame from a structural perspective. You can see they're digging out underneath the existing foundation of the home, getting ready to pour in new concrete footers. That concrete, as is all concrete on the project, will be sent for core sampling that will send off to Geotech to assure that the concrete is of proper PSI for the structural integrity of the building. Just want to make sure that we don't get the bad batch of concrete that day. You can see now that those footers are poured, guys are starting to remove the original foundation of the house. Again, this is a careful process to make sure that the building does not become structurally compromised. We have had Dave Holtzapple, along with Greg Fraker, two structural engineers, assist us with this project. And in fact, we have a demolition sequence stamped plans orchestrating the process of removing which load-bearing components of the structure, while then adding in temporary support walls and structure. See a lot of that smoke coming out of the basement. That's from the guys using a saw, cutting the foundation wall and the interior of the basement, making those fresh cuts, again in preparation for framing out the concrete piers that'll be in place. You can see here the guys are now framing up the forms for the poured foundation walls for the basement here as well. And one thing that's hard to appreciate from this shot here is that just to the right of the screen there's a telephone or utility pole. And due to the fact that we're digging a hole literally just feet from that, this raised concerns for possible instability of the pole. Therefore, we contracted with AEP, who owns the telephone pole, to provide this truck. This truck came and parked right in the alley and grabs onto the pole to provide stability while we're doing this work to the foundation. Once the foundation wall is completely poured, the forms are removed, and the backfill is then placed. That truck was then able to disengage from the pole and pull away. You can see that there's been a significant amount of rebar that has been added into the forms here as the forms are being completed and kind of tied in together in anticipation of the concrete pour that is about to come. Again, you can appreciate underneath the doors on the back of the home there that those are the piers upon which large pieces of steel will sit on. And so those, again, have much more reinforcement and steel built into them. You see the Buckeye concrete is now in place and pouring the forms. Of course, all that concrete is being placed under a vibration to make sure that there are no air bubbles in the forms or in the foundation wall. All that air then floats to the top. As you can imagine, there's a lot of work and planning that goes into a project of this scale. It's been about just about almost 4 years of time that has elapsed since the initial plans were drawn up for this renovation. So now getting to the point where we're seeing work actually being completed certainly makes for a happy homeowner, and kind of makes you have a sense of accomplishment, to say the least. We certainly hope you've enjoyed this first episode of the Urban Ranch version 2.0. Look for many more to come.